Alright guys, so the next thing that we're doing is surface area, volume, area, all of that fun stuff. So the first set of notes is just area of composite figures, which should be pretty easy. You find the area of each individual section and then add them together. So in this one, we have two rectangles. So to find the area of a rectangle, it's length times width. So our first one is 9 times 6, which is 54. And then this one is 3 times 7, which is 21. And then you add them together. So we have 54 plus 21 is 75. And then because it's area, our units are meters. So it's meters squared. So 75 meters squared. Alright, so now in this one, it's kind of hard to see in the video, but the height of this triangle is 6. And then we have this rectangle. So to find the area of a triangle, its area equals base times height divided by 2. Or you can do 1/2 base times height. Right, either one will do the area of a triangle. So we have 6 as the height of this triangle and 8 as the base. So we have 6 times 8 divided by 2. So 6 times 8 is 48. And then 48 divided by 2 is 24. And then the area of our rectangle, so we have 2 times 8, which is 16. And we just add. So now we have 24 plus 16, which is 40. And then inches squared. And there we go. All right, so for number 3, we have a trapezoid on top of a rectangle. So to find the area of a trapezoid, which is something that probably not a lot of you have done. So to find the area of a trapezoid, you do base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So base 1 is the top base, base 2 is this one, but it really doesn't matter. So you could say this is base 1 and this is base 2. All right, so we have 13 plus 24, because that's the base of the whole thing, times the height, which is 4, divided by 2. So we have 13 plus 24. So we have 37 times 4 divided by 2. You can actually make this a little bit easier and just do the 4 divided by 2 here. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we have 37 times 2. So 37 times 2 is 74. So that's the area of the trapezoid. And then we need to do the area of the rectangle. So area, so we have 24 times 7. And just because I don't have my calculator next to me, so is 168. So now we just add. So we have 168 plus 74. So 244 inches squared is the area of that shape. All right, now we have half of a circle and a square. So let's just start with the square because it's the easier one, because it's 12 times 12, which we know is 144. All right, now we have to talk about the half circle. So in order to find the area of just a circle, it's radius squared times pi, but we need half of that, so we're going to divide it by 2. If we go back over here, we can see that the diameter is 12. So we know that if the diameter is 12, the radius is 6. So now we're going to do 6 squared times pi divided by 2. So we have 36 pi divided by 2. And then 36 divided by 2 is 18 times pi. And I'm going to have to go get my calculator. right, so 18 times pi is 56.55, so we'll just stick with that. So we're going to add 144 plus 56.55 and just add. So the area of this shape is 200.55 feet squared. All right. So we have another trapezoid and another half circle. So let's start with the trapezoid. So we have 2 plus 10 times 4 divided by 2. So we have 12 times 4 divided by 2, which becomes 48 over 2, which is 24. So the area of our trapezoid is 24. Now we have to do the area of our half circle. So if the diameter is 4, our radius is 2. So we have radius squared times pi divided by 2. So we know our radius is 2, so we have 2 squared times pi divided by 2. So 2 squared is 4, so 4 pi divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, so we have 2 pi, which is 6.24, essentially. Nope, 28. And it doesn't round up, so you can just leave it as 6.28. And then add, so we have 24 plus 6.28. So 30.28 meters squared. All right, now we have an ice cream cone shape here. So we have a triangle and a half circle. So remember, the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So base is 16, the height is 12. So we have 16 times 12 divided by 2. And if you want to make your life a little easier, you can divide one of these by 2, or you can multiply them. I'm just going to multiply them. So 16 times 12 is 192. And then 192 divided by 2 is 96. So the area of the triangle is 96. And now we have to do the area of the half circle. So if the diameter is 16, then its radius is half of that, which is 8. So we have 8 squared pi divided by 2. So square this first. So 8 squared is 64. So 64 pi divided by 2. And 64 divided by 2 is 32. And then multiply 32 times pi, which is 100.53. And then we're going to add these two together, which I'll write out the steps, but this one's pretty easy to add together because it's 196.53 and then meters squared. All right, so this one, it's not broken up into shapes for you, but you can break it up into shapes. All right, so I would split it here and do a trapezoid and a rectangle. All right, so let's start with the rectangle because it's the easiest with length times width. So you have 2.8 times 10, which easy multiplication is 28. Now, for the trapezoid, we have the two bases, but 7.2 is the height of the whole thing, and we only need the height of this. So to do that, we're going to do 7.2 minus 2.8, which is 4.4. So that's the height we're going to use to find the height area of our trapezoid. So our first base, so we have 6 plus 10 times that 4.4 we just found as the height, all divided by 2. So you have 16 times 4.4 divided by 2. 16 times 4.4 is 70.4. And divide that by 2. It's 35.2. And then we're going to add this and the 35.2 to get our total area. So 35.2 plus 28 is 63.2 centimeters squared. And there we go. All right, so now for this one, we want to find just the area of the shaded sections. So to do that, we have to find the area of the square and then subtract the area of the circle from it. So let's start with the square, because it's just 10 times 10, or 100. All right, now to find the area of this circle, we need its radius. So its radius, because this whole side is 10 and it goes from side to side, its diameter is 10, so that makes the radius 5. So just to find the area of the circle, we're just going to use radius squared times pi. So we have 5 squared times pi, which becomes 25 pi. And 25 pi is 78.54. And now that we have the area of the 2, you're going to subtract. So we have 100 minus 78.54. All right, and then just subtract. I'm going to just cheat and use a calculator. It's 21.46 meters squared. And there we go.